Once, there was a glorious kingdom established among the heavens. From that kingdom came a crowned heir, tasked with seeking out the Genesis Pearl from the kingdom of darkness. The first crowned heir began her journey of seeking the pearl. But she was deceived, and the memory of her noble origins faded. She now believed that she was the queen of the kingdom of darkness. But take heart. A second crowned heir had already taken up the path where the first had stumbled. This is the story of your journey, of your tale to be told.
One with nature.
Let's dance!
As one with wind and cloud. Into the wind. Time to go. Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
La la la! Boing boing boom! Ooh, wahoo! Hi-ya, boom! Sparks and flash! Hi-ya, ooh! As a dutiful maid would. Leave it all to me. Phew! Blow them all up! Time to clean up. I'll catch up. Yep. Blazing delight! As a dutiful maid would. Yep.
Taking a stroll in the middle of a downpour certainly rouses the spirit. But it's best to dry your clothes as soon as possible after the rain stops. Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home. This blade, it is the last link I have to the land of my birth.
On Inazuma. So many things have happened since then. Yeah, we've definitely made some progress on our journey. So, where should we go today? Huh? What's up? Hey! What the heck was that for? Doesn't want to know, huh? All right, let's convince him to calm down a little.
Huh? So you don't have a vision after all? Seems like I've mistaken you for someone else.
At the very least, you should make sure you've got the right person before you go attacking them. No, wait. Even when you've got the right person, you shouldn't go attacking them out of the blue. It's dangerous.
Have you ever met someone by the name of Kaedahara Kazuha? He carries a sword just like you. I've also heard that he possesses an animo vision. That's none of your business. Never mind. You don't look like you know anything anyway. I'm wasting my time.
What the heck is this guy's problem? Coming around here, waving that weird sword in our faces, and he didn't even apologize. Seems like a real nutcase. Well, one thing's for sure. No way are we telling him, hey, don't be mean. I'm on smart lots of the time. Anyway, just to be on the safe side, we should go find Kazuha right away and tell him to watch his back. Oh? What kind of hunch? A special connection? You mean beyond already knowing each other? Yeah, maybe a little. But then again, most people look pretty much the same once they start fighting, so that doesn't really prove anything. Anyway, there's no time to lose. Let's go tell Kazuha so we won't get into any Paimon heard that the Crux fleet is stocking up in Rito at the moment. Let's look for him there. Kazuha is.
You're looking for Kazuha too, huh? Guess he must have done something impressive after all. Well, we took the small vessels into Rito on a routine supply run, only this time, as soon as we entered the harbor, we ran into a huge crowd of Inazumans, all of them wanting to know about Kazuha. If it's because of that battle on Nizuchi Beach, Captain Beto had a great run there too, but I don't see her getting this kind of attention. Kazuha keeps to himself most of the time. In fact, there are times when he doesn't even listen to the captain, but she just laughs it off.
Oh, so you still don't know what he did?
I've heard bits and pieces. It's something about him blocking the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. Is it really as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be? Really? Wow. When you put it like that, it all makes sense. In that case, his newfound stardom is well deserved. He was called away earlier by some people from the Tenryo Commission. They said they had something important to discuss with him. I thought they'd come to arrest him at first. Turns out they couldn't have been friendlier to him. Seems like they really respect the guy.
Just a little while ago, this would have been completely unimaginable. Thank you! Guess we'll go pick...
All right, then.
Oh? It's you.
Greetings. We were just discussing the repealing of the Vision Hunt Decree. Since you're here, you're very welcome to listen in on the conversation. We invited Mr. Kaedahara here to extend a gesture of goodwill on behalf of the Shogunate. Your hard work has secured for us the agreeable state of affairs that we now enjoy. Also, I've been granted the chance to correct my clan's past mistakes, and for that, I'm deeply grateful. The Almighty Shogun has issued a large array of directives aimed at resolving, or at least easing, the tensions that have built up over the years. The Tri-Commission has made the recommendation to use this opportunity to restore the honor of the Kaedahara name. Regarding the history of the Kaedahara clan, I trust that you're already somewhat... In short, there was once a group of select bladesmiths who served the Shogun directly, responsible for upholding and further developing the traditional blade forging arts of the Almighty Shogun. The Kaedahara clan belonged to this class. But there came a time when some of these bladesmiths revolted and fled to Snezhnaya. Both the Kaedahara and Kamisato clans were held accountable for lax oversight and entered a period of great turmoil. We later learned that the whole misadventure had been secretly orchestrated by the Fatui. Attributing all of the blame to the Kamisato and Kaedahara clans was neither proper nor just. Considering Mr. Kaedahara has once more made an outstanding contribution to Inazuma, the Almighty Shogun believes he should not only be rewarded for his achievements, but also receive recompense for the excessive punishment borne by his clan in the past. In the interest of preventing further harassment of the bladesmith clans by the Fatui, we chose not to publicly release the findings of our investigations into these matters. We trust you can understand why this was necessary.
This is a true honor. I am delighted to be in a position to receive the goodwill of the Almighty Shogun and the Shogunate at large. However, would I be correct to assume that this magnanimous gesture does not come without some strings attached?
I can assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. We seek only to correct a past injustice. With the Kaedahara clan's reputation and occupation restored, the Kaedaharas will be bladesmiths once more, and your wanderings will finally come to an end. You will be able to lead a safe and prosperous life in Inazuma City with the Almighty Shogun's blessing and full support of the Shogunate.
I have grown accustomed to life among the elements. I fear I would no longer feel at home behind the tall walls of a stately abode. Yet my ancestors did indeed take great pride in the name of Kaedahara, and the art of blade making for which it stood. I do have a responsibility to restore their honor.
I sense some hesitation in your words. Should you accept this offer, I imagine many of the malicious rumors currently circulating through the populace will disappear.
Malicious rumors? All we heard on the way here was so much praise that we almost wondered whether there was another Kaedahara Kazuha in town.
Well, to some, the Muso no Hitotachi is something that can never be defeated. They cannot accept the idea that Mr. Kaedahara really parried the Shogun's strike. Also, eyewitnesses saw him using the power of Electro in addition to that of Animo. As a result, the falsehood that Kaedahara Kazuha was using a delusion began to spread.
What? But that doesn't make sense. Using a delusion turns you old and frail, and Kazuha still looks fine.
That is correct. However, to some people, the idea of a single person wielding two elements at once is a more inconceivable notion still.
This is just one of many similar rumors. I am very uncomfortable with being the subject of public discussion. no matter whether it brings suspicion or stardom my way. But perhaps if the Shogunate is willing to publicly support me, this situation will blow over more quickly.
This is precisely why I encourage you to give our offer some serious thought. It stands to benefit all of us.
Please allow me some time to consider. In fact, let us put this discussion on hold for the moment. Well then, what brings the two of you here?
Yikes! We nearly forgot about the most important thing!
Why would such a dangerous individual be looking for me? No, this puzzles me as much as it does you. My fighting forms were taught to me by my family, based on techniques originally developed for blade testing. We undergo rigorous training to standardize every motion the blade is put through, so that each can be fairly assessed for quality. Over time, these techniques came to form something of a Kaedahara sword art, focused on blade testing, but with a full repertoire of combat forms. Those forms are quite different from the more practical ones typically used by samurai in battle. So it's hard to imagine that the similarity you speak of was coincidence alone.
All the more reason to watch your back! This guy was a serious nutcase.
Indeed. He sounds highly aggressive. Anyone he targets is at risk of serious injury, or worse.
In that case, I will send some men out immediately to search for him.
Thank you. I must say I am now very curious about this matter, and I will also need some time to consider your offer. I will first join the Traveler in investigating the one who attacked her, then give you a conclusive answer upon my return.
Very well. Please stay safe.
Come on. Let's go and track down your aggressor.
The detective agency knows the most about what goes on in town. Let's see what...
Time to go.
Hey there! We'd like to ask you a quick question. Do you know if anyone around here has been looking for him?
Aha! So this is the renowned Mr. Kaedahara. I've heard a lot about you. It is an honor to finally meet you today.
You are too kind. We are currently investigating an assault and would appreciate any help you can offer.
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Let me think. I can't seem to recall anything of immediate interest. Mr. Kaedahara is currently the talk of the town, so there are always a lot of people looking for him. To be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many inquiries from people wishing to obtain Mr. Kaedahara's personal information. Some of them were offering us millions of mora just to gather the information they want. If these were more legitimate commissions, Sango would have snapped them up in an instant.
Millions? Of mora? Whoa! Oh, wait, even at that price, you probably still shouldn't.
Please, accept my thanks for looking out for my privacy.
Of course. No matter what, we only take on legitimate cases. We don't make our money by revealing details of other people's day-to-day life just for the sake of it. Sorry, I got a little off topic. What I'm really trying to say is, it doesn't surprise me that a complete stranger is looking for Mr. Kaedehara. But I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to connect this with an assault.
Then let's put that connection aside for now. Have there been any other attacks or similar incidents recently that stand out as particularly unusual? The Tenryou Commission had very few leads. I thought you might have some information from different sources.
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about every little thing that goes on out in the streets. But typically, it's only the most trivial events that manage to escape their attention. If anyone had been out there attacking people, that would be assault, in which case the Tenryou Commission would absolutely get involved.
That does make sense. Uh-oh. Looks like the trail's already run cold.
I still find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you hasn't been causing any trouble elsewhere. Few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, I am well aware it would cause me great for the poor victim.
Don't worry, we'll find...
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero they make...
You flatter me.
You are much too... Oh, actually, let me tell you about it.
Sure. During times like this, the more information we have, the better.
All right then. Recently, 2 people went missing from the city at around this. One of them is a pretty well-known collector, surnamed Nagato. The...
Amenoma!
Right. Yuya is the nephew of Amenoma Togo, the owner of Amenoma Smithy. 2 grown men going missing at the same time. I recalled this because Amenoma...
Understood. Though it seems highly unlikely to me.
Sure! Can't hurt!
Thank you, Ryuji. We'll start by making...
Sounds good.
Time to go.
Ah, if it isn't Kaedehara Kazuha. What brings you here today?
Huh? You 2 know each other?
Yes. The Kaedehara and Amenoma clans were both members of the Raiden Gokaden. Historically, there have always been deep links between the 2 clans. After I returned to Inazuma, I visited Mr. Amenoma to pay my respects. Yes, you may recall the story of the Raiden Gokaden from the Iridori Festival.
Though all bladesmiths trace their craft back to the same source, over time, each of us has arrived at a different blade-making philosophy, spawning the development of different branches of the same art. As an example, the Amenoma art strives to emulate the abiding patience and determination of water as it turns stone to sand. There is nothing mystical to our work. There is only practice, day in and day out, until both body and mind have memorized the craft, turning each motion of every technique into an intrinsic... As for the art...
That's right. For only a
Indeed, you are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade.
You overestimate me. But let's get back on topic. The purpose of our visit, we hope to assist with...
Ah, yes. He didn't say a word, but I've done what I can so far.
We heard that there was a collector involved in the disappearance, too.
Yes. I believe he went to collect the item. Yes. Strange, isn't...
Do you have an...
If I had to guess, he's never been. He is
Truth be told, based on the evidence...
What? He is humble. Yes, but I also cannot know. Anyway...
Don't worry. You have our word.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think you...
Yes. It sounds as if something happened. Let's pay a visit to the... Time to go.
report this to my superiors?
I'm very sorry, but we cannot afford to pay what we owe right now. My husband has gone missing.
No, you misunderstand us. We are here to help with the investigation.
I'm sorry.
I'm afraid we don't have any new with this in mind.
Frig.
He'd always get so everything was fine.
Uh-oh.
He lost his sense of restraint. Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. It was awful. There were days when he wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. I'm happy on the last day that—
Whoa!
And that led—
Actually, it didn't. Generally, he's a quiet man who likes to— You must understand. After I said those, his voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our family? Had I not indulged his bad end? The next thing I heard—
I see. Ame-no-me-yu—
At first, but my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so— I don't know. Perhaps he's too— As long as he's with—
Please don't get up. If collecting but the information—
A little confused?
Let's try a change of scenery and see if— Rest assured.
Thank you.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the sales meeting between the two men was somehow the catalyst for their disappearance. The fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how the situation unfolded, though its exact role is a mystery. Do you have any thoughts?
Well, Paimon was thinking that maybe someone accidentally knocked over an oil lamp and, nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while. Over to you.
Right. I very much agree with you. It seems highly likely that we're missing a piece of the puzzle. Working off what we know so far, there are too many things that don't add up. The chances are that there are still some clues left for us to discover. One fact that I keep coming back to is that Ame-no-me-yuya is polite and well-mannered, while Mr. Nagato is introverted and passive. Neither seems like the type of person who is inclined towards initiating conflict. Mr. Nagato, being heavily in debt, is also the only one of them with the potential motive to disappear after the fire. The more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Just what could have happened there? Right. Although the time frame seems to broadly match, no other details that we've learned seem to link the two events together. Ame-no-me-yuya lacks a key distinguishing feature of the attacker.
Darn!
Let's keep going. If we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and Mrs.
Okay.
Let's head out of the city and check out the warehouse. Wait. I hear something ominous in the wind.
Oh! This must be another one of those sounds that only you can hear. As sketchy as that whole thing seems, you did put it to—
Now I'm picking up a strong—
But there's nothing here.
It's gone now, but I can still sense the direct— It felt very much like that ancient presence in Ina. Indeed. But this unexpected spring of inauspicious energy may prove to be of benefit. We should remain vigilant.
So it's an underground warehouse.
The force is definitely coming from down below. The source of the Tatarigami energy has long since left this place. But the residue it left behind still hasn't... Judging from the concentration, I would have to conclude that the Tatarigami source resided here for a very long time.
Mrs. Nagato said her husband used to hang around the warehouse by himself a lot.
It could well be that he was already under the influence of Tatarigami energy at that time. From what I've been told, Tatarigami does not, but most will... Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with. Step back. I'll open the door and take a look at... If we don't open this door, we can move no clo... You needn't worry.
What's down there?
Everything's buried in debris. I can't see anything. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
That was too scary!
All we can do now, two ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. Yes, let's go. Quiet your mind. Time to go. Time to go. From this point, the trail appears the main source of the Tatarigami energy continued on into the...
Whoa! Look at all those hilly churls! They're acting really strangely.
Something seems to be drawing their attention. Let's take a closer look. It's...
Ugh! Look at this red stuff! What is it?
By the looks of it, a letter written on a piece of torn clothing. The ink is bone dry. It must have been written quite some time ago. Well... According to this letter, Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded...
So...
He was not only... Whatever traces there may have been of his... Yes, if Amenoma...
Right! So let's get moving!
I wouldn't be surprised for a practitioner. All the clues that it first seemed... I have a
Wait! You figured...
I believe so. But it's something... On with the search. We must stay Time to go. He seemed...
Why here? Is there anything special about this place?
I'm not sure. Show yourself! It's no use hiding anymore.
Kaedehara Kazuha. It's you, at last.
Aha! So it is the same guy from before! What's your problem, huh? What could you possibly have against Kazuha?
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. If it is Amenoma Yuya that stands before us. But what if instead of facing Amenoma Yuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
Now that you mention it, it is giving off a strange light. Whoa, whoa! Surely you don't mean... Are you serious?
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself within physical objects. The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, affecting his state of mind, and more recently using the sale as a means to affect, or rather as a means to occupy, Amenoma Yuya's body.
You're sharper than I thought. You've already deduced the truth of the matter. Many, many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Ishin tradition. I was his pride and joy. In me, he placed all his hopes and dreams. As a descendant of the Kaedehara clan, you should be able to guess our greatest regret.
I presume it has something to do with the Raiden Gokaden.
Indeed. At that point in time, he failed to live up to the Raiden Shogun's expectations. In the end, all he could do was to flee the nation by sea on a ship bound for Snezhnaya. He was a bladesmith of great renown, a master of his craft. There was nothing that he could not accomplish. All he needed was more time and a little faith. And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. All of his life's work, his wisdom, his skill, it culminated in his creation of me. He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength, but also endowed me with a consciousness of my own. In her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the entire world, but also...
So... swords can become...
The people of the time in which I was born never believed after the death, I seek but one thing. To face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power.
Tell me, what happened?
My hosts? Who cares what happens to them? They are but tools that serve my mission. When they got tired, or injured, or unusable, I hopped to the next one in line. All I needed them for was to take me back to Inazuma.
You're...
After I returned at long last, Kaedehara... Now, give your body over to me!
One with nature.
Wind, hear me!
Burn! We shall rewrite history!
Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
Do not stand in my way, or I will strike you down too!
Your bluff's fooling no one. You've lost.
Lost? I can never lose. It is this body that has reached its limit, nothing more. Even if you defeat me here, the one who falls will not be me, but this man. He is but a puppet that can be replaced. I can the end result, and even if I were to lose my physical by any means...
Your fighting style. But from your movements, I sense only hatred and...
Really? You can tell...
As I've mentioned before, the forms of Ishin art convey the user's... Since the blade is, if you ask me...
Are you trying to claim... On his deathbed, he passed in that regard.
Because all of that, I've been wondering, now that I've seen it... After all the...
Oh, that's...
Only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress and decided to sell his collectible... Well, you were determined... I think you but the way I see it... What
would you know about any of this? I'm just one step away from achieving...
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Ishin art. Even if you were to sever that divine light, is this truly the outcome that your maker would have desired?
You...
Sure, you and... How could you possibly...
Silence, you blabbering fool! I must achieve my goal. I will concede that...
And you should face reality.
Easy for you to... I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. It is pointless to argue further.
How stubbornly you stick to your wayward path. I do not believe for a second that you could...
What? Sure.
Very well. Once we have dealt with them, we shall proceed to Tenshukaku.
And as for your end of the bargain, if you lose...
Don't do this, Kazuha!
This is the only way to save Ame no Mayuya. If we don't do this, the cursed blade's strength is currently very weak, and I sense he's hesitating. This suggests the power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying existence. Even if we have a chance here to save an innocent victim.
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance. I agreed to now.
Kazuha?
I'm okay. I felt a little dizzy at first, but only for a moment. It's all right. So far, this was as I expected. I will.
What should we do next? Have you...
We find some... Although this blade has endured much turmoil, it probably hasn't If a blade built for Ishin art cannot enter a state of harmony between blade and bear... If he wants to avoid reality, then we need to fight until he has no choice but to face it.
Wait a minute! Paimon remembers hearing about something from... Since the Takasukasa clan abandoned the... What about
The blade says he'll let Amenoma Yuya trail us silently.
Are we sure this is... Okay, fine.
What's that? Join you for a walk? Why not?
Let's go. Time is against us.
Leave everything on this journey to me. Into the wind. To the ferry. Finally, let's get down to business. As one with wind and cloud.
How are you feeling?
I'm all right. The blade is performing largely as though he's making every effort to persevere. I do not think he can last much longer.
Something else on your mind?
How strange. Rather than trying to control me, let's keep going. Time to go.
Let's get down to business.
The wind knows it. One with nature. Clouds high. The birds call.
Let's get down to business.
The wind knows it.
Whoa, something's up with the blade.
I can sense that his strength is slowly fading away. He cannot hold out much longer. If he keeps persisting, he will likely break apart.
But what would that do to...
I will be careful with it. He's still trying to achieve his goal. The wind knows. One with nature. Fallen leaves adorn my night.
This battle.
Are you okay? It looked like you were really strong.
Yes. And
The shine's grown a bit dimmer again.
perhaps this time we'll finally have a chance.
True form? What are you... Is this the same blade as before? It looks like a piece of junk.
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't. Maybe you did. It barely needs stating anymore. I finally figured you wanted to but regrettably, we are nothing alike. I will never understand your obstinate, the only one who truly...
Here they are! Take them down!
Where do they keep... Yup. We can...
Don't worry, it's just...
What a lucky day.
The wind knows. That hurts! One with nature. As one with wind and cloud.
You fought way better with your own sword.
You are a true Kaedehara in flesh and in spirit. Though no one knew anything of my story throughout my travels, nor did I tell it to anyone. I thought that if I could...
But in this too,
Indeed. Too much time has passed. Yours is the blade that took on the Muso no Hitotachi. And what a magnificent blade it is.
Actually, forging and maintenance are both important for a blade. This blade has traveled the land with me for many years, and we have formed a close bond during that time. Skill, blade, determination, and desire. There is something else I must tell you. Though Tatarigami is though you tried to... I resisted it. I feel a great sense of regret for you. Since you embarked on the moment you embarked, you have known this.
He gave me... How could I I said to him...
Aww.
I believe our bet is now settled. I have nothing further to say.
Where are you going, Kazuha?
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation to cause further harm. Let's give him some time to reflect on things. When I touched the hilt for the first time, it's as if I was transported to a strange dimension. A bladesmith lay quietly on a newly forged blade lay by.
Wow.
Indeed. While in exile in Snezh, he spent the rest. He felt so he all he wanted to.
So that's what... After that,
Right. This blade has come. Yes, time would not wait. He seems to have.
When I once told the darkness, not only did I...
You are finally seeing reality.
Since we agreed to the terms of the bet, I will honor the... But I still cannot bring myself to forsake his ambition. So, may I ask you to help...
hey! Now you're at...
It has to be done. My physical form, as well as the knowledge I possess, should...
His attitude... What do you think, Kazuha?
Let's hear it.
Thank you all. When I... Alas, nor have I ever had the chance. My fights were devoid of any noble meaning. They were you.
Oh?
I will release Amenoma Yuya and restore his consciousness. Perhaps after that, you must have plenty of reasons to both hate me and...
Understood.
I see. I utterly If a duel can... I do not wish to be a...
There's no need to worry. We'll vouch for your innocence to...
Thanks for your help.
All right, then let's move on. More Ronin could appear at any... In any case, for a final duel, I think we should aim for a greater sense.
This reminds Paimon a bit of the Crux Clash. Yep, we still can't let our guard down, even still. Are you ready?
Ready? Okay. Successor.
Successor of Amenoma.
Honored to cross blades with you.
It is my honor...
Into the wind. Wind Strider. Fallen leaves, adorn my night, Wind Strider. Time to go. Wind Strider.
Thank you for the experience. Although he appears battered and broken, in your hands it seems he's regained a glimmer of brilliance. His sense of savage cruelty has completely faded away. But that same sense of determination remains strong.
You also fought well. I'm sure he relished the experience. There are a few things that I shall leave him to tell you himself.
I must apologize to you for all that has transpired.
You need not seek my forgiveness. Nor do I have the right to forgive you on your victim's behalf. It is too late for all of that.
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope that you will see my transgressions as mine alone, and not let them stain the legacy of Ishin art. I strayed far from the straight and narrow path, but the Ishin art still has a worthy successor in Kaedehara Kazuha. I beseech you, please understand this.
Yes. I too trust Mr. Kaedehara to do the right thing.
Thank you, successor of Amenoma art.
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. He would like to visit the Amenoma smithy. Maybe we can go back there together.
What does he want to...
I'm not sure.
I am sorry to have troubled.
A prized... But I have some good news.
Really?
Yes. Badly. And now that Yuya is back...
I think I know what you want to do.
What's wrong, Kazuha? Is the...
Yes. He said he wants to take control of...
What? No way! Hasn't it learned its lesson?
He tells me that he's thought of another way to fulfill his maker's wish. I have decided...
But... He... Ugh.
Thank you. Okay. I am ready. Let us...
My power is almost spent. Without him, my eventual demise is inevitable. But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything. You mean...
Yes, the cost is my entire consciousness. You were right. There's nothing that I can accomplish now. But there's still a chance for Ishin art. Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies. Ishin lives on, and its finest hour is yet to come. Even if I am not the one to prove its might to the Shogun, as long as it is an Ishin blade, crafted by Kaedehara hands, it will still fulfill his final wish. Thank you, son of the Kaedehara clan. Over the years, my real name has been forgotten by all. I'm ashamed to utter it, yet it remains strong in my mind. Kagotsurube Ishin. This name is now yours to keep.
Rest in peace.
So, that's why he said it had to be done in that order. His consciousness will disappear forever after...
Kagotsurube, it seems like deep down, only in the final...
Seems like he...
The same fervent ambition that gave him the Speaking for myself, I'd rather see him... I understand. Perhaps this is a flaw in my personality. Hearing his wish to rival the divine light touched your quest to face the gods. After everything,
Oh,
I will continue to support you from this point on.
wait! Should...
Oh, you're right. And it's also time to give him a response to...
You've returned. I hear that the issue has been resolved. The Tenryou Commission has already attended to the danger at the warehouse. The investigation into Amanoma Yuya should conclude soon.
Wow, you sure kept your ear to the ground.
Then we needn't recount all the details again. Now, as to your earlier offer, I wish to give you my answer. Please, take a look at this.
What's this?
Kagotsurube Ishin. A weapon crafted using a long-lost blade forging art of the Kaedehara clan. By means of a series of fortuitous events, I was able to recover and restore him. And so, it looks the Kaedehara clan has always been... Were I to
You misunderstood.
I am aware.
Very well. I can... However, if you...
Great.
Where will you travel to?
As for my next destination, let's see where the wind takes me.
And unrelenting willpower.